Hello and welcome to the second episode of my channel where we had started learning subject-verb agreement. Now yesterday the video in which I had uploaded was the first part of this lesson. Today we are going to see the second part of this lesson where I'm going to tell you the remaining rules of subject-verb agreement. So a little recapitulation of what we had done. So yesterday we had done that when two nouns are joined with the help of and, then it takes a plural verb. But if both the nouns are joined with the help of with or along with, the verb is according to the first subject. Then we had seen another rule where if the noun is singular, verb also has to be singular. If the noun is plural, the verb will be plural. But there is a little catch here. Again and again I'm saying noun with an S is plural, but verb with an S is singular. And then we had done other rules. Kindly go and see the video to clarify any kind of doubts. Let's take up other rules. Yesterday we had done till rule 4. Now let's take up rule 5. Now what does rule 5 say? Sometimes when two nouns are joined using and, not with, not along with, not as well as. Sometimes when two nouns are joined using and, but they denote a single unit or commodity, it takes a singular verb. Now, what do I mean by this? Let's take up a sentence. Bread and butter dash good for health. Now, in this sentence we have two nouns. One is bread, another one is butter. Both of them are joined using and, but still the verb which we are going to use here will be is, because bread and butter is a unit. We eat it together. We don't eat it separately. Okay. Another example can be rice and curry. Rice and curry is my favorite. It's somewhat similar to the rule which I gave yesterday. The prince and poet is dead, because the prince is only the poet. But suppose it was the prince and the poet, then it will be are. Let's take up next rule, that is rule number 6. A collective noun takes a singular verb, because collective means a collection, one unit. We cannot write a plural verb with it. For example, the team plays well. Okay, because team is a unit. But yes, as yesterday also I had said, every rule has an exception. So what is an exception to this rule? Sometimes, even though a collective noun is used in the sentence, but it seems as if the noun or the collective noun is no longer a unit, it is divided. Like for example, let's take one example. The jury has come to a decision. Now in this sentence, the verb which is used with jury is has, because as we can see, the jury has come to a decision, a unanimous decision. Together they have decided something. So they are acting like a team. So that is why here it is has. But suppose the jury was divided, so it is the jury are divided in their opinion. So the judges are not able to come to a unanimous decision. They are not able to come to the same decision. So they are no longer acting like a team. So that is why here we are going to use a plural verb. The jury are. Another example. There are many fish in the pond. Generally, we take the plural of fish as fish itself because we are talking about a species. We are talking about a creature. So a common creature. So fish. There are many fish in the pond. But if I carry forward the sentence, some fishes are blue, some are red, and some fishes are green. So here, as we can see, we are dividing the fish into groups. Some fishes, like if we take the first sentence, there are many fish in the pond. We are talking about fish as a whole. Okay, but now if I have to differentiate amongst the fishes, that some, based on their color, some are blue, some are red, some are green. So here instead of fish, we use fishes because they are divided in their, they're divided. They're not the same. We are differentiating among the fishes. Okay, so this was rule number 6. Next comes rule number 7. It is very important to identify the correct subject of the sentence. Okay, so what does rule number say? It's not actually a rule, it's a trick that we need to identify the correct subject in the sentence, and then the verb is taken according to it. Okay, like for example, let's take a sentence. The mother of these children dash sick. Okay, now the subject, it's very important to identify the subject of the sentence. It is not children. The subject is mother. Okay, who are we talking about? We are not talking about the children. We are talking about the mother of the children. And mother is singular. And that is why the verb will be is. Next one. The quality of all these articles dash risen. These are some very common sentences which we often see in most of the books. So again, the correct subject, what we are dealing with, should be quality. Quality is not articles. What are we talking about? Quality. So the answer is. Okay, then rule number 8. What does rule 8 state? Rule 8 states that if we use a relative pronoun in a sentence, now it's very important to understand what do I mean by relative pronoun. Relative pronouns are who, which, okay, that, whose. Okay, so what is the work of relative pronoun? It basically acts like a conjunction. We'll deal with relative pronouns in other class, but right now the topic is subject verb agreement. So if we use a relative pronoun in a sentence, the verb is according to the word just before the relative pronoun. Now what is this word called? This word is called, I'll give you one example and then I'll tell you what is this word called. These are the books which dash tone. Okay. Now, where is the relative pronoun in this sentence? The relative pronoun is which. So, what did I say? If we use a relative pronoun in a sentence, the verb the verb is according to the word just before the relative pronoun. So, what is the word just before the relative pronoun? It is books. So, what will be my answer? According to books, it is are. Now, there is a particular name which is given to these words which come just before the relative pronoun. It is known as the antecedent. Okay, let's take up another examples. This is the boy who, suppose I have to choose between love or loves. So my answer will be according to the word just before the relative pronoun, that is who. Okay, and the answer is loves. Okay, sometimes you need to be very smart. Okay, because I do not know what to fill. Should I fill love or loves? But in the question it is not written whether you have to fill it in present tense. So I can fill loved. Okay. Similarly, I am confused between what to fill, has or have. But in the question it is not written whether I have to fill in present tense or past tense. So I can use had in such case. Okay. So this is all in subject verb agreement. Very soon I am going to take up a lesson in class 12th. The lesson called third level. Please stay tuned and thank you so much for liking my video and subscribing. I hope to get your support in future as well. And I really hope that you have understood the lesson. Keep commenting, keep asking, and if there is a doubt, I'm always there to clarify it. Okay? Thank you.